Trading is the most anticipated feature coming to Pokemon TCG Pocket, and we're not going to have to wait much longer. Pokemon have revealed a number of details on when it's coming and how it's going to work. So let's get into it. I'm Jeff from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and here's everything we know about trading so far. Over on Twitter, Pokemon put out this letter to the community with a bunch of information regarding trading, as well as a nod to the next upcoming booster pack set. And we're not going to go through all of the text here, just going to focus on the important stuff here. And in particular, this note has a lot of details regarding trading. And if we jump into it, we'll go to all of the bullet points and we'll break these down in a little more detail. So, how trading is going to work. And again, this might not be everything. I think there's still at least one major question because they don't explicitly denote if promo cards are tradable, but we will go through what we have here. So first on the docket, trades can be done between friends. So I'm assuming that means you cannot trade with strangers. I think that's okay. If you literally don't have any friends, I'm sure you can make some friends online through Discord or Twitter or something like that, just so you can get the ball rolling and trade some cards. We have also some other stuff here where trades can be done with cards of the same rarity. So just keeping in mind, in the bottom left-hand corner of every card, there is a icon to denote the card's rarity. We go from 1 to 4 diamonds, and then 1 to 2 stars, and then there's also crown rares. So you have to trade with the same rarity. Here's an example of a hypothetical trade. This is an Arcanine EX for a Pikachu EX. Both of these cards have 4 diamonds, and therefore they can be swapped with one another. Now, it doesn't look like they don't specifically say you can do package deals of like, I'm going to trade multiple cards for multiple cards and the rarities all match up. Based on what we saw on the trailer, they did kind of allude to trading, and that was like a 1-to-1 swap. So I would assume that the trading feature will be one card at a time. And we do know this trade works because they are of the same rarity. However, if you wanted to trade something that was not the same rarity, so example, we've got this Arcanine EX and just a Dedenne, that trade's not going to work because the Arcanine is 4 diamonds and the Dedenne is only 1 diamond. So we'll have to keep it to the same rarities, which I think is fine. This one was a little weird to me. At the time of the trade feature's launch, certain cards from the Genetic Apex and Mythical Island booster packs will be able to be traded. We are planning to continue to expand the selection of booster packs that you can trade from. Now, this is where things get a little weird because later on in the letter, Pokemon says, also, our next booster packs are planned to be added this month. We'll have more details to share soon on the new Pokemon encounters fans can look forward to. So a lot of the rumors were that the next set was coming out at the end of this month. And it was also rumored that the trade system would come out at the same time as the booster packs. But the way this is worded here is a little fuzzy. Is the fact that it's only Genetic Apex and Mythical Island available at the launch of trading, is that because trading is coming out before the next booster packs, and then once the new booster packs come out, they will then be rolled into trading? Or is it going to be a thing where the older sets can be traded and whatever the newest set is not able to be traded? I could see it going either way. It is kind of annoying if we cannot trade the newest set upon release, but I can understand the potential limitations here. Pokemon is trying to make money and get people to buy more cards. Also, the way that the game works, it's not like the physical TCG where you can just go to the store, buy whatever you want. It is a digital economy, and players can re-roll accounts for free over and over and over again and try and get all the rare cards and just send it to whatever their main account is. So this could potentially be a way of slowing down players trying to abuse these systems. We'll have to wait and see if you can trade whatever that new set is on launch, or if we're going to have to wait a little while before those can be included. But at the very least, we can trade cards with Genetic Apex and Mythical Island at launch. Cards with a rarity of 1 to 4 diamonds, as well as 1-star cards, can be traded. So just to give you a visual representation of what that means, all of these cards on the screen, this category of rarity, can be traded. So pretty much any sort of non-EX card can be traded, including the illustration rare, that Lapras all the way on the right. Those types of cards cap out at 1 star, and all of the other ones are 1 to 3 diamond. Those are tradable. Also, that Celebi EX there, all regular art EXs can also be traded. And I think it's fantastic that these cards can be traded, particularly for those who play the game. I love the game, but it can be a challenge to get the cards and get the duplicates that one needs in order to build decks. And having the opportunity to trade all of these cards, like all of these cards, this rarity covers every functionally unique card in the game. And being able to trade those freely means that as a player, I can build my decks more easily, trading for missing cards with friends, and you will complete your functional Pokédex with being able to trade all these cards. This is where things get dicey. All of the rarities above that are the 2 stars. These are the full art Pokemon EXs, the immersion rares, the crown rares, and there's been rumors of a new rarity type that's like a rainbow star sort of thing. I'm guessing that's not going to be tradable as well. And there are some good and bad things about this. I think the unfortunate part about it is that there are people who are really hoping that they could complete their collections by trading off sort of their extra crown rares or anything like that with other players who have those in order to complete their collection. Unfortunately, that has been gated off. And like from a player perspective, if you're not picky about rarities, that's fine. You can trade all the other stuff and you're good. If you are a completionist or you really want to complete the collection in a timely manner, like, well, I guess everyone's definition of timely is different. If you don't want to have to rely on the random draws of booster packs, this option of trading will not be available to you. And I noticed the hardcore collectors, these are the types of cards that they are missing and they're spending extra money for in order to try and pull these cards. And some of these players also have extras of these cards. I have pulled over 2,000 cards. I only started paying for the battle pass a couple of weeks ago, and I have, I don't know, like 12 of these cards that are 2-star and up, and I don't have any duplicates of it. So this doesn't really matter to me. But I've seen pictures of people that have like 3 immersion rare Charizards, and we're hoping to trade with someone for an immersion rare that they don't have. And unfortunately, the system doesn't have that option for them. And for those players, that's really disappointing. And I understand it from Pokemon's perspective. The problem with making these cards tradable is that this becomes very exploitable. People can reroll accounts, can potentially sell those cards or sell accounts to other people and get these cards very easily, at which point no one's spending any money, and then there's why are we even supporting this game? So gating these off is their way of being able to prevent the economy from collapsing. This isn't, like I said earlier, this isn't like the paper TCG where Pokemon can just stop printing the cards. There's an infinite potential number of these cards, and the economy is they have to find the balance of making players happy while also making money. And these are their money-making cards right now, and Pokemon is like, yeah, we're gonna try and make sure that these cards are still exclusive and people are still spending money to unlock these cards. It's not hurting people who are playing the game because you can trade all the lower rarities that are mechanically the same as these ones, but we do want to have that extra carrot on the stick for those that really want to complete their collections and spend money in order to do it. Now, I saw a lot of backlash from the community on this. I think for those who are using this primarily as a collection app, there's just a lot of stress and unhappiness regarding the locking of that high rarity card from trading. And Pokemon actually already responded, saying that, I'll read the statement here. Thank you everyone for your immediate thoughts on this topic. Your concerns are seen. Once this feature becomes available, I'd like to invite everyone to try it and provide feedback. This way, the game can continue to evolve in an enjoyable way for everyone. And I think that's fair. Kudos to Pokemon for at least acknowledging that people have a lot of opinions on what this can be. And I think that even for those who are not the serious collectors that are trying to reroll or do anything scummy here, there are people who have multiple gold cards that would like to trade. And for them, it's like, if you're not playing the game, then you're just kind of stuck with these cards. And yes, you could technically grind them up for flares, but like flares are really not cool. And players are probably going to want something better. If they're not going to be able to trade these cards, I don't think flares are that great of an alternative. Is there a possibility of like grinding up these cards for pack points or something? I don't know. I haven't put in the time to think about how this economy should work, but this does feel like a hole in the economy. And not necessarily, I'm not necessarily of the camp that says that all of these should be tradable, but maybe there's a way of finding an opportunity to use duplicates of these high rarity cards towards something else. One last note here, the Pokemon Company does also state that items must be consumed in order to trade. Now, there was a lot of rumblings about Shine Dust possibly being that item. Because of the rumors, I've actually pretty much never I've never flared up a card. I've been hoarding the Shine Dust for months now. And maybe this becomes the currency, maybe it becomes something else. We don't know yet, but this sort of currency, whatever it might be, is going to be a way of limiting the amount of trading that we do. And I think we'll have to see what the currency is and how much it costs in order to trade. I'm guessing it'll be some sort of mechanism where the higher the rarity of card, the more you have to spend. If it's something like that, I'm probably okay with it, assuming that the economy allows for a reasonable amount of trading. And there we go. That is a massive reveal for Pokemon TCG Pocket, with trading finally in the mix. I think that for players of the game, in terms of actually wanting to build decks and battle, I think this system is totally reasonable. For the serious collector, this is going to be a challenge, especially for those who've spent money and really want to complete the collections, and maybe they've gotten to a point where the only cards they're missing are the ones that they're not allowed to trade. Even as someone who spent very little money on the game, I have completed the functional Pokedex of Mythical Island, and I have maybe 10 or 12 cards to go in Genetic Apex before Secret Rares. So it's pretty reasonable to expect that most people don't really need to trade those cards, but trading is going to be more valuable for newer players because not everyone is starting at launch. This is going to be a feature that will be more valuable to newer players as the game goes on, as there's more sets to open up, and players can trade for some of the older cards they missed in order to get those. Still some question marks on whether we can trade promo cards or not. I think that as a player, the trading system is great. As a hardcore collector, I would be disappointed in this news. In particular, I understand Pokemon not wanting to completely open the floodgates on trading every single card, because that would completely collapse the economy. But I do think that for players who have these high rarity cards, and especially extras that they don't need, I think there needs to be something better for them to do with their cards other than just put in flares, especially for the player who is not even playing the game and they just collect the cards. At that point, flares literally mean nothing, versus even me as a player, I don't really want to flare my cards anyway, but that feature just means nothing for them. So I would like to see some alternative to just flares for those high rarity cards if we can't trade them. But for now, I gotta get going. I will keep you up to date if there's gonna be any sort of adjustments to the system. At the very least, it looks like Pokemon is open to hearing discussions, and I think that the Pokemon Pocket team in their communication has been fantastic, and they've been responsive, and they've made adjustments to the game, and I'm curious to see where they ultimately land with this system and what adjustments they make along the way. But for now, I gotta get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at @InThirdPerson. You can find me on Twitch at @InThirdPerson, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Anyone willing to trade a Wigglytuff to me?